Soulframe is an amazing game that's just getting started, but what it's really bad at is explaining things, so it's not beginner friendly at all. Here are some things I wish I knew before starting Soulframe. Soulframes Exploring is a major part of the game, but it's not like any other game where you have menus to tell you what to do. And this is where I found this website to come in super handy. Avakot.org features two really important things: the soul map and the wiki. The soul map really helps with exploring. You can find things such as quests, world bosses, dungeon entrances, and many more things. The Soulframe wiki is your one-stop shop for everything you need to know. You can find dungeon and puzzle guides, loot locations, and much more. There is so much exploring to do in Alca, and using Avakot stops you from wandering pointlessly. Now let's move on to point number 2. Factions. In order to rank up your faction, you need to grind rep by doing Sparrowtails. However, here's the important bit. The grind is capped to 16,000 points per day, so try to grind as much as you can. Point number 3. Crafting and reforging with joineries. Crafting is first unlocked by completing a certain mission which unlocks the blacksmith. Then you also need to discover fragments by playing the game. Once you have certain fragments, you are able to craft. However, my advice would be do not spam craft because resources in this game are extremely scarce, and craft what you actually need for now. Let's move on to reforging. Any weapon in the Envoy's possession may be reforged with a joinery. Reforging is a system that allows the player to use joineries in order to upgrade certain aspects of their weapons. The effects of reforging depend on the grade and type of joinery used. In this example, a quicksilver polished gives you 20% damage, 25% headshot multiplier, and 20% weapon charge rate. I'll be creating a whole video on joineries as there's so much to it, but for now let's move on to point number 4. Loot and gatherables. There is loot everywhere in Alca, and I mean everywhere. You should be smashing everything and looting every chest that you can, including weapon racks just like this and this massive sludge spewing old mechanism. You just shoot the masks on both sides, and while exploring, gather every single gatherable that you can. Oh, and talking about loot, meet Avakot. Avakot is a handy companion that sells items, and I'm telling you, you will be using him a lot if you don't want to grind. Avakot can be found in the wild, or he can be found specifically in Oro as well on the map location here. Let's move on to point number 5. Quests. Now I don't want to spoil anything here, so this is a quick one. Quests. Not all quests are guided. You have to explore to find certain quests. You do get a guide of quests at the beginning, but they eventually fade out. If you do want to find quests quick, I do have other guides on my channel, or you can always visit avakot.org as explained before. Let's move on to point number 6. The combat in Soulframe is not all self-explained. For example, how you can parry by blocking just before you get hit, or how you can throw your weapon by holding block and heavy attack, or how you can heavy attack in general. If you find yourself fighting an enemy with a black shield and an X inside it, that simply means your weapon level is too low. Level up your weapon level and come back again later. You don't have to play this game so aggressively. You can use sneak attacks to your advantage, which actually finish him off in one hit just like this. I think that's enough for combat. Let's move on to point number 7, the Smite Mechanic. Smite is a mechanic in Soulframe which causes damage to enemies by stealing their exposed souls. The color of the soul also replenishes the color of the corresponding skill. The Smite mechanic is not just to damage enemies, it can also be used to charm the wild animals, which in return unlock totems for your weapons, which are basically mods. And finally, it can be used to suck up these gold balls, which are basically known as histories, and they help you unlock the area's name on your game map. Which brings me to point number 9, the world map. The world map is initially covered by clouds, and to demist these clouds or get rid of the clouds, you have to discover trees that look like this. There'll be a spear in them, you take the spear out, and eventually bit by bit the clouds will disappear. My final point, point 10, is the compass in Soulframe. The compass is so important and not many people notice it. Take a look at how it's blinking. This is my objective here that I need to get to. When you're next to it, it stays solid, but as you walk away, it starts blinking slower and slower and slower. The compass is effectively your radar. As you get closer to your objective, it blinks faster, and when you're right next to it, it goes solid. That's my 10 tips for new players starting Soulframe. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like, subscribe for more Soulframe content, and take care, Envoys.